Hello everybody, my name is 711 and welcome to week 3 of the UGBC. So, in the first week, we lost to David 2-0. In the second week, we beat Brian 4-0. So now we are 1-1 with a positive 2 differential overall, and we are in third place in our division. So that is really exciting, and hopefully last week's victory can the momentum can just carry over into the next couple weeks. So this week we're battling Cole, who has had a pretty rough season so far. He's 0-2 with a negative 10 differential overall, putting him in last place. But he drafted very well nonetheless, and I think that Cole has some potential. And so I think that this is going to be a really scary match either way because, well, everyone drafted really well. And so let me see really quickly here what Cole drafted. Cole drafted Mega Gardevoir, Rotom Wash, Gengar, Suicune, Crocodile, Hydreigon, Shiftry, Hitmontop, Typhlosion, Dusknoir, Xatu, and Slacking. So here are some things I wanted to that I looked at. The only way for him to set up hazards is with Crocodile, and the only way for Crocodile with Stealth Rock, and the only way for him to get rid of rocks is Hitmontop and Shiftry. Shiftry with Defog and Hitmontop with Rapid Spin. So those are his options there, and those are his options, and hopefully we can pull out a win against this team. So the first thing I noticed is that Serperior does a whole lot of work against this team. So if something is already pretty weak, Serperior can go for a Leaf Storm, which has like a 99% accuracy with Wide Lens item. And so Leaf Storm can do a whole lot to anything. And then after a +2, a Leaf Storm OHKOs the Mega Gardevoir and the Rotom Wash, and it will, I didn't do the calc, but it'll definitely do a lot to Suicune and Crocodile. Hydreigon will die to Dragon Pulse. So Serperior does a whole lot to my opponent's team. Hidden Power Ghost is there for the Gengar, and Serperior naturally outspeeds everything on his team. So if he brings a Choice Scarf user, that is probably the best way for Serperior to go down. And so I'll have to definitely keep my eye out for that. Now, I looking into EVs. It's very standard. Special attack and speed, and a pinch in defense with a timid nature. So that's basically Serperior right there in a nutshell. So speaking of Choice Scarf users, literally half of Cole's team works really well with Choice Scarf users. He has a Rotom Wash, he has a Gengar, he has a Crocodile, he has a Hydreigon, he has a Shiftry, he has a Typhlosion, for crying out loud. So I am positive that at least one of those will be Choice Scarfed. I'm positive at least one of them will be brought. So I said, you know what? I'm going to jump out of my comfort zone, try something new. I'm going to go with Trick Room. So here is Dusclops with the Trick Room, along with Will-O-Wisp, Nightshade, and Pain Split. And I gave Dusclops a lot of special defense. I didn't think he really needed a whole lot of defense because of the Will-O-Wisp and the Pain Split for recovery, while Nightshade can whittle stuff down. So hopefully Dusclops can set up the Trick Room and switch out for something else. And yeah, that is basically Dusclops right there. He doesn't have a whole lot of Pokemon that can use knockoff. He has Crocodile and Shiftry. And I don't think Hitmontop gets it. I don't think Slacking gets it. So, yeah, that's Dusclops right there. So I'm going to go slightly out of order here. The next Pokemon I want to talk about is the Jellicent. Now, the first reason that I brought Jellicent is because he has a Suicune. And if Suicune is the traditional Crocoon set, which is Scald, Calm Mind, Rest, and Sleep Talk, that means that he cannot touch Jellicent. Ever. Ever, ever. Because Jellicent has the Water Absorb right there, so I'm always getting health back from Scald. And I can't get burned, and not to mention that there's the Leftovers for health back, there's the Giga Drain for health back, there's the Recover for health back, there's the Water Absorb for health back. Hopefully Jellicent does not take a lot of health. Now, yes, I understand that he has something called a Rotom Wash to Thunderbolt me. Yes, he does have the Crocodile and the Hydreigon and the Shiftry. So you know what? No leftovers. I'm going to put in the Colbur Berry, which halves damage whenever I get hit by a Dark type move, especially with Knockoff. Knockoff is going to be extremely useful. Here comes the Knockoff. I ate the Colbur Berry, and it's going to do a base of like 37 instead of 65. I'm sorry, 33. It's going to do like a base 33 instead of a base 65 plus 1.5 more because you know what? I don't have an item anymore. So Knockoff is not going to do much, and Jellicent can either Giga Drain or Scald or set up the Trick Room. Hopefully I don't make a similar mistake that I did last week. I'm sorry, not last week, against David, where I went for Recover whenever the Mega Houndoom started setting up. That was really, really bad on my part, and that's what cost me the game. So, Scald will hit the Crocodile. Scald will hit the, Gengar. Scald will hit the Typhlosion. This is the second reason why I brought Jellicent, is because with this really incredible special defense and the special defense investment and the high hit points, I can take an Eruption from Typhlosion and then retaliate with a Scald or even set up the Trick Room right then and there. So that is the second reason. So the first reason is for the Suicune. Second reason is for the Typhlosion. Third reason is because it is a second Pokemon that can set up Trick Room. And I really, really want to keep the Trick Room alive for as long as possible. And that's how I'm going to do it. So, going back over here, we have Scrafty. Scrafty is pretty slow at 58 speed. It is going to work well in Trick Room, so I'm not bringing the Dragon Dance. I'm bringing Assault Vest with Moxie, and hopefully Scrafty can put in a lot of work against Cole's team. The Ironhead OHKOs the Mega Gardevoir, and Drain Punch does will do a lot to Rotom Wash. It will do a lot to Crocodile and the Hydreigon and the Shiftry and the Typhlosion. I know that Cole likes to bring a physically defensive Hitmontop, so that's definitely something to look out for. But I think I have plans for that. I mean, I have Jellicent that hits specially. I have Dusclops that hits, with Nightshade. I have Serperior. So that's basically my plan there. Thunder Punch is there for the Suicune and something else. Xatu? Gengar? Yeah. That's basically why I have Thunder Punch. And then Super Fang, I was thinking, well, what can I do? What can I really, really do? I was looking at my options. Fake Out would be interesting, but that would just waste a turn of Trick Room, and that is not something that I'm interested in doing. I was looking at Ice Punch maybe, but no, that didn't really seem right. Knockoff and Low Kick were interesting, but with so many dark types on Cole's team that the only thing I would bring Knockoff for is Gengar. So that just didn't really seem to work out very well. Power Up Punch is interesting, but I decided to go for Drain Punch just for the reliable HP recovery. I didn't really need Poison Jab for anything because Iron Head will take care of the Gardevoir. Drain Punch will hit the Shiftry just like Poison Jab would. So I said, you know what? I can't do Substitute because of the Assault Vest. I can't do Toxic or Taunt. Zen Headbutt's not going to do very well against all those dark types. So, you know, let's just go with Super Fang. Super Fang is going to be really interesting because it always does half. No matter what the setup is, even if Suicune gets up to +6 special defense and special attack, I can go for Super Fang, and it will get rid of half of Suicune's health. Period. So that's Scrafty for you. Hopefully Scrafty can put in a lot of offensive pressure or presence, something like that. I can't talk today. So I'm just gonna move on. Here's Donphan. I've brought Stealth Rock to all of my games so far, and I brought Stealth Rock like really early in the game. Hopefully Donphan can come in later in the game, go for Rapid Spin, as long as Gengar is gone, and I can go for Stealth Rock as long as Hitmontop is gone, and if the Shiftry wants to waste a turn in defogging with Donphan in, then I can Poison Jab it. So that's a win-win situation for me. Other Pokemon that can come in against Donphan, Rotom Wash. Well, guess what? Seed Bomb. Seed Bomb does just over half to a bulky Rotom Wash, I believe, if I did the calculation correct. Seed Bomb can also hit the Suicune and the Crocodile. So, yeah, that I really didn't feel like bringing Knockoff for the reason why Scrafty doesn't have Knockoff, and I didn't want to bring Earthquake because there's something called Rotom Wash and Gengar and Hydreigon and Xatu. So it really wasn't going to help out a whole lot. There is nothing on his team that fears an Earthquake except for Typhlosion. So that's Donphan for you right there. As far as EVs go, I gave him some bulk and HP and special defense, and I really want him to put in a lot of offensive work. Now, if something physical were to come in, like Crocodile or Hitmontop, then I want them to feel some pain. So there's the Rocky Helmet, and with this monstrous defense in 120, then defense isn't going to do too much. So that's why I have Donphan. And so for my last Pokemon, the bookends here, I know that Trick Room will not last all the time. I have done some Trick Room stuff. Trick Room will not last every single turn. So I'm going to keep it around as long as I can. Whenever it's gone, Serperior can catch some stuff off guard, and so will Mega Altaria, hopefully. So I have a very similar move set from week 1. Dragon Dance Frustration, that was able to take out the Vaporeon. I'm not bringing Earthquake this week because Earthquake just really doesn't do a whole lot for, against Cole's team. So I have Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw, after a Dragon Dance, does an incredible amount to Gengar. It will do an incredible amount to Typhlosion. And what would Typhlosion do against a Mega Altaria? Eruption is not going to do much because I'm a Dragon type. Focus Blast is not going to do too much because I'm a Fairy type. Grass Knot, or Hidden Power Grass, is not going to do too much because I'm a Dragon type. I guess the only thing that a Typhlosion could do to me is Extra Sensory. So I have 4 in Special Defense. So hopefully I can find an opportunity to go for 2 Dragon Dances, and then I can outspeed everything, and I can just click Frustration over and over and over again, and knock everything out. Frustration will knock out the Mega Gardevoir, but Mega Gardevoir's Hyper Voice will take me out because I'm actually weak to myself in Fairy. So with a base 80, I'm not going to be outspeeding a whole lot with 1 Dragon Dance. If it's Choice Scarfed, I actually need to get 2 Dragon Dances off, and I'm going to try my best to do that. I don't see a lot of Pokemon that will, what's the word? That will status me. I see Rotom Wash that could do Thunder Wave. Gengar could do Toxic. Suicune could do Toxic. But it's very, very unlikely. Maybe Hitmontop Toxic. That would be kind of scary. Or Dusknoir. So the point here is that Mega Altaria can put in a lot of work once the Trick Room is gone. And so I'm just going to be hopping in and out of Trick Room. And I have Pokemon that can just be absolutely devastating either way. So, that is my team. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for my battle against Cole. And so I'll see you guys later. Peace.